Hi, you guys. Welcome to science. So we're talking about bones. So we are in your science book. Here you go. We're just looking at page 107. Okay, if you need to, if I'm going too fast, you need to pause me. And I can pause me. Or I can pause me. Okay, so you can do that if I'm going too fast. All right. So let's look at this book. I love this page. It's so cool. So you have the skeleton, and these are all the bones that go into a skeleton. 206 bones. Now, when a baby is born, they have 300 bones. That's because when they get, as they grow, some of the little bones that might be together, they kind of fuse together to make one big bone. Isn't that interesting? I did not know that. I thought it was pretty cool. So you have all this. So you've got all these bones, 206 bones. All right. So if you turn the page, I just thought that bone page was kind of cool. So if you turn the page, it says, what is the smallest bone in your body? And I call it the stapes because it's got a long A with the silent E. I could be wrong. It could be stapes or staps. I'm not sure. Could be either one. But this is what it looks like. This is how small it really is. And it's also known as the stirrup because it looks like a stirrup on a saddle of a horse. So it could be that, that's kind of the normal name that people who not doctors call it. All right. So then it's awfully small and it's right through in your ear. If you didn't have it, you wouldn't be able to hear. Then you have your femur. Your femur bone is the longest bone in your body. So you have the smallest bone and you have the longest bone. All right. And your hands and your feet, I've been calling them phalanges, but then I heard it somewhere else. I was listening and they call it phalanges. Phalanges. They make the E a short vowel and I make it a long vowel. So anyway, your hands and your feet are phalanges or phalanges. Okay. Also on here, they also said, since your femur bone is your longest bone, it said to measure it. So do you have, I just had what did I do with it? I just had a yardstick here. Oh, where's my yardstick? Well, I measured mine and mine's 10 inches. So you ought to measure yours and see how long yours are. Okay. So you're going to be talking about bones. Also, what I need for you, remember I asked you yesterday if you guys would have these cut out. You can have them colored, but I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I do want you to color them. I know you guys go, I don't want to color. But you know what? When you color, you're really using your brain to decide what are the nice colors, to stay into the line. You're using self-control, which is one of the fruits of the spirit. So I do want you to do a nice job on this. All right. It's part of your work. Okay. All right. So what I do have a fun video. We've had them before. Okay. So let me get out of here, right here. And let's listen to this one. Let's listen to this. This is the gal with the red hair. Whoops, not that one. She talks super fast, but I like it. She always has good stuff. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for always.
One of these days, Mrs. White will know how to get out of here.
Believe it or not, there's something a lot like this inside of you and inside of me too. It's a skeleton. You may have seen skeletons like the ones they have of dinosaurs in a museum, or maybe plastic models of human skeletons like this. Maybe you've even seen dancing skeletons around Halloween. But do you know how important, cool, and powerful your skeleton really is? Let's get to know your bones, from how they help you move to the different kinds you have and the super special job they have to do. Let's get started. One of your skeleton's important jobs is, of course, to hold your body up. Your muscles are strong, but they need a frame, something to hold on to. Without a skeleton, you'd be all loosey-goosey. And you wouldn't be shaped like you. And it goes both ways. Without your muscles, your skeleton would just be a pile of bones. It's only by squeezing and relaxing your muscles that you're able to move your bones. So that silly dancing Halloween skeleton, it's just pretend because it doesn't have muscles. So your bones are hard enough to hold the weight of the rest of your body, but they're also hard enough to act like a protective shield around your soft, squishy organs. Your ribs, for example, are bones that protect your lungs and heart, so that even if you get a big, strong bear hug, your insides don't get squeezed too. And speaking of strong, the strongest bone in your body is also the biggest, longest, and heaviest bone you have. It's the bone that goes from your hip to your knee, called the femur. And that bone has to be big and strong because when you run, jump, walk, or even just stand still, a lot of the weight of your body falls on your femurs. Now, where do you think your smallest bone might be? The very smallest bone you have is actually in your ear. This little bone called the stapes looks kind of like a
See, I
stirrup.
did it.
Even in adults, it's only about the size of a grain of rice. But this tiny bone has a big job. When sounds enter your ear, they make this little bone move back and forth. These vibrations are what your ears pick up as sound. So without this teeny tiny bone, you wouldn't be able to hear. Now, I have a question. How many bones do you think we have? Well, it kind of depends. It sounds crazy, but you have fewer bones now than when you were born. Newborn babies have about 300 bones, but by the time you finish growing, you'll only have 206. So where did all those extra bones go? Nowhere. As babies grow, some of their bones grow together or fuse into one bigger bone. For example, your skull. Your hard noggin is actually 21 bones that are fused together, plus one bone that's always separate, your jaw. Your skull starts out as a bunch of separate bones because that leaves lots of room for your brain to get bigger. And once you're fully grown, the fused parts make an incredibly strong shield to protect your precious brain. One final fun fact about your skeleton, your bones are alive. Even though we often think of skeletons as not living, like the ones we see in museums or models, your bones are full of living cells. Some of these cells are what make your bones grow and repair them if they get hurt. And other cells, which are tucked away in the thick, spongy layer deep inside your bones, have a very special job. They make your blood. That's right, most of the stuff that's in your blood is actually made inside your bones. It's because your bones are alive that they're able to grow, like they're doing in you right now. And they won't be done until you're about 25 years old. But even then, your bones will still be busy holding you up, helping you hear, and making your blood. So bones in museums are cool, and Halloween skeletons are fun, don't get me wrong, but nothing's more scary powerful than your own living skeleton and all the great stuff it does for you. Do you have a question about animals with big bones, small bones, or no bones at all? Just let us know by getting help from an adult and leaving a comment below or emailing us at kids@thescishow.com. And we'll see you next time.
Okay, that was great. That was a good one. Don't you think? I liked it. So what I need for you to do, and I like the thing where she talked about how bones are alive. So inside your bones, you've got all these living cells, and that's what makes our blood. Can you believe God did that? God made all those bones, 206 bones. And when he created us, he also made it when we are younger, like you guys. Your bones aren't all fused together yet because you need your brain to grow. Your brain's smaller than my brain right now. Interesting. And as we grow, then the brain, all those bones come together. How cool is God that he does that? I don't know. Awesome. All right. So hopefully you guys have got these cut out. All right. And you need to have your little parts. They were all put in a little baggie for you. Ta-ta-ta. All right. And we are going to, so I have a girl one. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over. And this is where we're going to put our bones. Okay. So let's start off with your skull. I think doctors call it more like a clavicle. Clavicle? Yes. All right. There you go. All right. And my glue is junk. That's okay. Still works. No, it's not called your clavicle. I'm sorry. It's not called your clavicle. I know. I wasn't thinking. All right. So we've got this. So you've got your skeleton. Okay. So next, why don't we do our ribs? Remember, our skeleton, it's taking care of the brain. It protects the brain, and the brain's like the motor room of your body. Okay. If your brain does not work, there are so many parts of your brain that tells you how to talk, the brain that tells you how to see, the brain that tells you how to move, the nerves that tell you how to talk. All those talk, see, your emotions. So we really need to take care of our brain. That's why mom and dads and everyone are so big on putting a helmet on your head, because your skull right now can protect it, but you also need something to protect your skull to also protect your brain. So you are super protected. All right. So that is why we have a skull. So you've got your skull on there, right? All right. Let's get your ribs. Now remember, your ribs, they protect, remember what she said? They protect your heart and they protect your lungs. Now this is the sternum, which we kind of talked about before, right? So that's your sternum, and right underneath it is your heart. And then you've got your ribs. On each side, you have your lungs. Okay. Have you ever seen it in movies? Well, I'm sure you have, where, someone is not breathing and they start doing CPR and they start pressing on it. Well, they're pressing on the sternum, and that sternum is trying to get that heart moving. So let's put, here we go. So you've got this guy on there. All right. Next, we need, let's see, where's my little guy? I have a little guy here. We need to put our humerus bone, and this is our humerus bone. Okay, you see, oh, sorry, wrong one. Here it is. Okay, now I want you to notice there's a big difference. Okay, this one's got like the ball on top of it, and this one doesn't. Okay, this is the one you need. Okay, so put that on. Make sure that you're putting it in the right spot. So see, here's mine. So see how the joint, this is going to come together. So it goes right inside there into your, that's your clavicle, of course. Your shoulder for your collarbone, your clavicle bone. I don't know what I was thinking of when I was talking about okay. All right. So you guys have yours on? Just like that? Excellent. All right. Next, we need your hands. Okay. We need your little hands. I feel like I've dropped something. Here we go. Cranium. That's your brain. That's your skull, your cranium. Sorry, guys. Cranium. Your and then you've got, here's your clavicle. Okay. So you have your humerus bones. And now what you're going to do is these are your hands. Okay. And you have two bones here. You have your radius, which is your longer bone right here, and your ulna, which is right here. And this one, I believe, is the one that has the muscles attached to it. Okay, so we need to put these on correctly. Now, the radius is the longer bone. Okay, the radius is a longer bone. See how you have it? See where this one's the longest bone? You want that on the outside. If you didn't put it on the outside, it's okay. Okay, no big deal. So here you go. Okay, next is your femur. Remember, your femur is your biggest bone, your heaviest bone, longest bone. Okay, so we need to put that on. I'm using tape here because my glue went kaput. Okay, now you've got this little ball right there, and that ball goes right into your pelvis. All right, see right there? It's going to go right there, and that ball goes into a joint like this into another in here so it can move around. All right. So I can go up this way. I can go this way. I can go this way. Isn't that neat? Isn't that cool what God does? So cool. All right. Let me get the other one on here. Okay. All right. So we've got our femurs. Got your femur? Excellent. Next, we're going to do our feet here. So we have, okay. So the longest bone here is called your tibia. And the smallest one here is called your fibula. And your fibula is where the muscles are attached to. You know, your muscles just don't, stay right there next to it. They have to attach to your bones because your bones will help the muscles help you move, and they got to be attached to the bones so they can make you move. Remember what she said? If you didn't have muscles, you'd be a pile of bones. Yikes. So there you go. You got your little muscle. If you want to color it, that's great, but I would like for you to color this. Okay? You need to color these. Now, I know you go, oh, this is what I don't want to color. Oh, I understand. But you know what? When you're coloring and you're coloring inside the lines, you're using your brain to do it. And you're using your brain to go, I'm going to make this color and I'm going to stay right into the line. It's kind of a critical thinking type thing, how you're staying inside the line. It's showing little self-control also by doing it. So I want these colored, okay? Do them the best you can, boys and girls, whichever one you have, okay? All right, nice job. Well, I'll tell you what, I have just a fun little book that I was going to have do. You can also take an ARP test on it. Okay. All right. Make me small, please. Make me small. There we go. All right. And it's called Bones. And there's the ARP test right there. So I'm going to listen to it. And then you can take an ARP test on it. I've got a couple of kids that really need to take the tests. So this is a great book. It's kind of a fun little book. It's they call it a kindergarten book. Oh, sorry. I know. Sorry about that.
No astronaut.
I've got to get Mrs. Coz in here
Hi
to,
there. Welcome
or
to the
Mrs. Lucio to
Kindergarten,
do
where
it.
we grow creativity and imagination. Today we're reading Bones by Stephen Krensky. Walk, jump, touch your toes. Bend your knees, hold your nose. Any way you move, your bones are helping out. You have 206 bones in your body. These bones fit together perfectly. Together, they form your skeleton. Your bones are hidden under your skin, but you can feel them and see their shape. Your bones start out small, just the way you do. As your bones grow, you grow too. The smallest bones are inside your ears. The biggest bones are in your legs. Some of your bones act as armor. A flat bone in the middle of your chest protects your heart. Your ribs are a bony cage for your lungs and other squishy parts. The bones of your face are part of your skull. It covers your brain like a helmet. Some people think skulls look scary. They like to wear skull masks on Halloween. Long ago, pirates used a flag with a skull and crossbones on it to frighten people. Today, a skull and crossbones means danger or poison. When you see it, be careful. Your bones do not bend, so they are joined in places where you need to bend. These places are called joints. Your spine or backbone has many joints. It helps you to stand up straight or do a somersault. Our bones work with our muscles to make our bodies move. Bones are hard and strong, but sometimes they break by accident. Luckily, the broken parts can grow back together. After many weeks, the bone is healed. Some old bones turn into fossils after millions of years. Fossils tell us a lot about animals that lived long ago, such as dinosaurs. Many animals have bones like ours, but their skeletons match their shapes and sizes. Toads and goldfish have much smaller bones than we do. Elephants and whales have much bigger bones than we do. Some animals have no bones at all. Jellyfish and worms wiggle and squiggle without them. If you had no bones, you would look like a blob. So when you run or stretch or grab or chew, think of your bones and say, thank you. The end. If you'd like to hear more, please subscribe.
All right. Nice job. I like that. So the test for it is 3999, and it's a 2.5 book. Okay. So that'd be great to take a test on, you guys. Mrs. Lucio's got tests all the time on all of hers. So you guys really need to be taking tests. Here, let me look at you a little bit bigger so I can look you in the eye. All right. Take the test. All right, kiddos. Well, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to make a skeleton out of our hand. Okay. So you're going to need the black piece of paper and the Q-tips for tomorrow. All right. All right, kiddos. You have an awesome day. All righty. Bye.